Hi everyone, my name is Phil and welcome to Phil Does 3D. I'm a multimedia and 3D artist and I stream live on Twitch on Mondays and Tuesdays at 5 PM Pacific time in the United States, which is midday in Australia or 1 AM if you're in the UK. Do remember, if you miss the live streams, you can always catch up by watching the streams under the videos section of my Twitch page. I hope you guys are well, and Sniper Echo and Smokeberry Barbecue, hello to you as well. I wasn't sure what day Thanksgiving is for you guys in the US, but I think it's Thursday, isn't it, this year? Yeah, so I just wasn't sure what was going on. I know Thanksgiving is coming up for you guys in the United States. I believe it's Thursday for you, I think, because we don't celebrate it here, obviously. But I hope you guys are well. So we finished the bathroom for the house on the hollow. We're going to start working on the master bedroom now. I think what I'll do is I'll jump into Max. We will UV map a couple of objects and then we'll take them into Substance Painter and do some texture mapping. That's the plan. Just let me jump into Discord properly here. There we go. Yeah, it's Thursday. I thought it was. Big day for you guys in the US, I guess. Thanksgiving. And then the sales. Are the sales before or after? No, the sales will be on Friday and then the Monday. Is that correct? So you got Black Friday, which is after Thanksgiving, and then you've got the sales on the Monday. Galen, it's good to see you, Galen. How are you? Galen says, did a rebuild fix the lighting issues? And howdy. Good to hear, Galen. It's good to see you. Were you streaming today or yesterday or earlier? I just noticed, I think, in my feed that your Twitch channel came up. Again, for anyone that doesn't know, Galen is a streamer as well, so you should check his channel out. Smokeberry says, National Overeating Day. I thought that was Christmas, so you got two. You guys overeat in November and in December. Smokeberry says, dude, it's so commercialized. The Black Friday sale started like 2 to 3 weeks ago. Galen says, I've not streamed in months. I wonder why you came through on my feed. Like when I logged into my Twitch account, one of your VODs came up. Okay. Strange. Twitch being twitchy. Mercury says it's like Christmas expanding into November. Well, I noticed that they start the Christmas ad campaigns, in earlier and earlier every year now. Pretty much end of September, beginning of October, they start the Christmas advertising. So, make sure they want you to go out and buy your trees, or think about buying your trees and buying tinsel and buying presents. All of the perfume ads start up. All of the, what are they? Like the angle grinders and the saws, all that sort of stuff starts up to try and get you to buy stuff for Dad. Yeah, earlier and earlier every year. Love Day. All these manufactured holidays, well, they're not manufactured. Christmas is not a manufactured holiday if you believe in the Bible. I'm not saying I do, I'm just saying. But Valentine's Day is certainly a made-up date. Just a made-up holiday to get us to spend money. All right, let's do the wardrobe. It's not UV mapped, I'm afraid. Sorry, guys. So we're going to UV map it in Rhizome, and then we'll take it into Substance Painter and texture it up. It's nothing special. It's just a wardrobe. We'll texture it up, though. Sniper Echo says, I've been getting live notifications for people I follow. Yeah, I have. That's what I mean. I got one for Galen. I followed recently. Galen says, National Singles Awareness Day. That's right. Don't they have that in China? What's that? Don't they have some holiday in China or some spending holiday in China that's for single people? I can't remember what they call it in China now. So yes, we will texture this up, but we have to UV map it first. So let's do that. Let's send it to Rhizome. This one. I've got so many buttons up here now, I can't remember what they all do. Okay. I think that Z fighting, that's, I think, just a problem in this program with the way it exports the model. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, we'll continue on. I'll double check it when we jump into Max, but I'm pretty sure that's the problem there. Okay, let's start working our way down. Galen says, I've gotten gifted subs to people I've never watched before. Snappereka says, weird. Yeah, now that sub gifting is a thing, it is a thing on Twitch. A few people have mentioned that they've been gifted subs to people that they've never watched or heard of before. It's a free sub, so I guess you can't complain. Kenya. Mind you, I don't think anyone's ever gifted me any subs. Show. No one loves me. And I think we'll stick to this one. This algorithm for this unwrap probably will do most of the wardrobe, I think. With the exception of maybe the handles, I think this one should be good for all of them. And while we could do everything at once, it's easier to do it piece by piece because the algorithm gets less confused doing it this way. Okay, now I am having an issue trying to select this space here, which tells me, oh, I'm in the wrong mode, that's why. I was going to say that tells me there's a problem with the model, but it's just I'm selecting the wrong thing. So I love this program so much. It saves me so much time. Mind you, doing this sort of mapping in Max wouldn't have been difficult anyway. It's just pretty much box mapping it. Let's do new. Actually, I might select all of these and do them at the same time. It shouldn't get confused. We'll find out. Again, that Z fighting, it's just the model. It's not just in this program, I think, not the model. Let's do the feet. And the base. How come you haven't streamed in a while, Galen? Just not feeling it? And that happens. I mean, streamers often get burnt out. Well, they just don't feel like streaming for a while. Not Phil, though. I think there might be just a couple here I need to do, which are these little edges. Alright, I don't think I've forgotten anything. I think that's everything. Oh. The handles, actually, the little handles here. And for this one, let's try this one here. No, that one's no good. Let's try this one. Well, that should be fine because the handles are going to be a metallic texture anyway, so the fact we have the seam down the front, while not great, shouldn't cause a problem. Galen says, no, I'm reading the same message. Okay, I think now we have everything. I can send it back to Max. I'm going to use Max's packing tools, not Rhizom's. I could have used Rhizom's, but I think Max's packer sometimes does a better job. Let us throw down a checker pattern to double check everything is looking correct. Just going to increase my checker pattern a little bit. We should be good. Okay, now we need to add Polygon Vertex coloring so we can texture it up. So let's do that. So I'm going to collapse my stack. And we've got to decide on colours. Again, we're going to go with the cherry and the chocolate wood because that's the theme of the building. And I think what we'll do is we'll go cherry for most of the wardrobe, we'll go chocolate for the squares, and we'll go chocolate for the base. So that, those, this piece here. Make sure we get the feet as well. And probably this bit at the top as well. Why not make it look a bit more interesting? So let's set that color to a blue. And then the wardrobe. We will set to a red for a cherry. And then the hinges. And the handle. We'll set to a gold. We'll make them some metallic color. Okay, let's double check to make sure I haven't forgotten anything. And that looks good. All right. Let's export our model. We want to go into the bedroom. We want to go to chosen. We want to go to wardrobe. Let's do a quick save. And let's jump into Substance Painter.
If I run away, know that you're better off.
Compute tangent space.
I've made my mistakes, hoping I won't get caught.
Break out our maps.
I'm wanting it on the run tonight. I'm guilty of all my sins. I'm haunted, won't make it out alive. I am a fugitive.
Change our material. We're going to call it wardrobe. Okay, now let's find some materials. I'm going to go with the American cherry wood, I think, to begin with. Going to remove that blank layer from the bottom. We're going to mask with color. And pull back on the height information. It always brings it in way too high, I don't know why. It defaults to a really high value for some reason. Now, my UV maps. I'm trying to decide what way I want the wood grain to be running. I think it'd probably be better if it's running up this way as opposed to across. Same with the doors, yeah. Alright. Let's jump back into maps. Don't want that. I want to do an Unwrap Uvw. No, actually you're right, Galen. I forgot about that. You can rotate the texture 90 degrees. Duh. Let's jump back into Substance Painter. Rotation. Oh, Galen, what would I do without you? Because I'm so used to some of them being the right way and some of them not, I just automatically jump straight into to Max to fix the problem. Smoker says, sometimes I rotate my texture to the 5th dimension. It looks like acid. So yes, that's a good thing to remember, the rotation thing here. Which works for us because they're all the wrong way around, but generally what I'm used to having happen is some of them are the right way up, some of them are not. That's why I usually jump back into max. But I think running up like that is better than across. Just looking at the scale. I think the scale's probably not too bad. Alrighty, let us duplicate the layer and just change the color a little bit to a slightly darker color on the above layer. Let's throw down the smart mask. And let's go with... Let's try this dirty splotches one. No. I don't like that. Let's try a different one. Let's try this Dirty Edges cracked one. No, I don't like that one either. Okay, let's try Dust Dirty. Okay, this one should work a bit better. But what I need to do is I need to put these in a folder, so I group them. We'll call this W for wardrobe cherry, so that I can add another color mask. So it only affects the wood grain we're working on. And let's work with on the back. The back will be easier to see what's going on. I just wanted to introduce a two-tone colour to the wood, so it's not quite so monochromatic in colour. Don't know if I really like the cherry wood, to be honest. Just jump back into the materials and see what else we got. Galen says grain up looks normal, as that's how it would be built traditionally. True, yeah. Generally the wood would run straight up and down as opposed to across. I'm just wondering if we can mix in another wood colour, because I don't know that I'm really happy with the cherry colour. Like, I might keep the cherry as an underlying layer and see what other wood we've got to work with. If Substance hurries up and renders out my shaders here. I want to use the beach chocolate, I think, for the decorative pieces, so we can't really use that. We could change the colour. Edo, it's good to see you, Edo. How are you? Hope you're well, and it's good to see you, Edo. Let's throw the walnut down and see what we can do as far as mixing. But again, we need to rotate it 90 degrees. Play with the scaling a little bit. Because yeah, I want the master bedroom. I haven't really thought about the design exactly for the master bedroom. I know what pieces I want, and I've already made a few of them. But as far as the overall design goes for that room, I'm not quite sure yet how I want to design it. But I do know that I want the furniture pieces in there to be quite heavy, because it's the master bedroom of the man that wrote that occult book that the game is based on. So I want the feeling in the bedroom to be heavy, meaning I want a lot of wood and I want a lot of dark wood. I might throw some marble in there as well. Edo says, chillin' like a villain, good to hear. And Edo also says, you think the new Threadripper will go on sale? Let's hope so. I actually I looked at the video that you posted. It was you, wasn't it, that posted in the Discord the video that Linus did, Linus Tech Tips? Yeah. I used to watch Linus's stuff quite a bit, but I haven't watched him religiously for quite a while now. He was always such an Intel shill. It's funny to see him now embracing AMD. Not funny, I guess, but you know, he can't argue with results and performance results, because he always used to be real Intel.
Walking through this wasteland, my eyes are fixed on the horizon.
You know, I can't quite remember how small the walnut thingy is. The wood grain in a walnut, whether it's larger or smaller, I can't remember. I don't actually think I've got anything walnut in the house. I guess so long as it looks about right, it should be cool. Yeah, so it's the actual knotting and wood grain. I can't remember how small or how large it is in walnut. I think it might be larger than that though. I don't think that large though. Because it is a wardrobe, so it is quite big. Does that look right to you guys? You think it should be bigger or smaller, the wood grain? Or is that right? We're going to be blending it in a minute, but I want to get the actual scale correct first. Where is everyone? I agree, I don't know where everyone is. That's why I was getting confused thinking it was Thanksgiving, but but Sniper Echo's around, Galen's around, Smurfberry's around as well, Edo. They just haven't posted since you've jumped into chat. User reference, yeah, that's what I thought I might have to do. Let's have a look. Yeah, well, this shows me the wood grain up close, but I need it on a larger object so I can see. That's a beautiful unit actually. I love that. Very nice. Okay, so this can give us an idea of how big our walnut should be. Looking at the top here. This is beautiful too. I love that. I love Biedermeier style furniture. Actually, that's interesting. I've actually created something like this for the bedroom. I haven't textured it. I've only modelled it. It's similar to this. Similar, not exactly the same, but similar. It's Biedermeier style as well. All right. So I think we need to make it just a little bit bigger. Galen says, are you going to use a dark or bright metal finish for the pulls? I'll probably end up making them a gold, probably a gold, because we've used gold on the other fittings and fixtures in the building, so that's probably what I'll do. They'll probably be gold. I think that should be about right size-wise. Looking at our reference, but we want to do a blend now, and I actually want to change the color of this a little bit as well, so I'm going to just lighten it up a little bit, because I don't want it to be a dark walnut, because we're going to be putting dark chocolate wood here as well. So I'm just adjusting the color a little bit. And let's go back to our smart masks and see if we can find something to give us a good mix. Try the surface worn one. Actually, before I do that, Just want to pull this into our folder. Move it up to the top. Let's go to the back so it's easier for us to see what's going on. Edo says add gold. That's right, gold everywhere. When in doubt, more gold. Well, we did the gold toilet, so we know we like gold. Lots of gold. I think what I might do is I'm going to jump back into the underlying cherry wood, and we might just darken it up a little bit. It's a pretty battered wardrobe. I don't know if I really want it quite that battered or not. Gives it character, I guess. What I might do is I might just pull back a little bit on the walnut. Edo says add gold to bling bling. That's right, we need the bling. It's the same with LEDs on PCs. We need that bling, that PC bling. I can't talk. I've got LED keyboard, LED mouse, LEDs in my computer. They're everywhere. Gotta have the bling. Curious what this one is. No, I don't like the pattern in that. I actually should download some more woods from Substance Source. I don't tend to have a lot of wood substances. Edo says I'm changing strings on my guitar. Cool. You play the guitar, that's really cool. I used to play the clarinet. I haven't done it for years, but when I was in school, I used to play the clarinet. We're talking before uni. We're talking a long time ago. But it was fun. I enjoyed it. Probably be absolutely hopeless at it now, but at the time, I liked it. I did actually download a Substance. I wonder if I've got that anywhere. I don't think I made... Or did I? I'm just looking... I did actually create and download a different substance. I'm just not sure if I actually made it in Alchemist and put it in here or not. Let me see if I can't find it, if it's here. But it was a wood grain. It was never. I didn't create it for the wardrobe, but we may be able to use it. Edo says I used to play the clarinet. Well, there you go. Sniper Echo says WTF, like leave some creativity for us, please. No wonder I'm struggling. That's right, Edo. Come on, too creative. I don't know if it's here. Why would it not be here? Just let me jump into Alchemist really quickly. I want to see if it's an Alchemist. I'm not even sure if I can use it on the wardrobe. Like I said, I didn't create it for the wardrobe. I actually created it for something else in the building. Actually, I don't think I actually have put it together yet. Edo says I can give you violin. Oh man. So you play the guitar, the clarinet, and you played violin as well. Edo says I hated learning it. My teacher was cancer. Now I can't quite remember where I saved these images I want to bring in. Where did I put them? Where? Because it was a few weeks ago, and you know, Phil's brain is old, so he forgets things easily. So I've got to try and remember where I put them. Where did I put them? Might have been in Megascans, I think. Yep. But this is what I was saying about why I really like Quixel Megascans. You can actually use the Megascans from Quixel and then recreate them or alter them inside of Substance. I don't know if they really want you doing that, but hey, I'm going to do it anyway. I was just wondering if this... Actually, I'm thinking of using this actually for the walls, for the bedroom, but just curious to see if we could maybe use it for the furniture as well. Edo says, yeah, if you didn't have your elbow in the right angle, you'd get hell for that. Sniper Echo says, sounds like that would kill the fun of playing it. It does. It doesn't sound like fun at all if you're being smacked about every time your elbow isn't in the right spot. I guess it's important, though, that you have things in the right spot. There are reasons, I'm assuming. Okay, let's export this. Into I'm just going to put it in my documents algorithmic substance painter shell. Materials. We're going to create a new folder. We're going to call it we'll call it Arched Wood because I can't think of what else to call it. And we're just going to call it Arched Wood. So I'm going to call it My Arched Wood so it's easier for me to find. I'll just wait for that to export. Sniper Echo says, I'm PC shopping tonight. Ooh, cool. Any online store recommendations? Excalibur. It's good to see you, Excalibur. I'm actually texturing up a wardrobe in Substance Painter, but I've just wanted to create a new texture to see if I could use it on the wardrobe. Don't know if I can or not. Probably can't, but hey. But I'm texturing a wardrobe up for the master bedroom for the game I'm working on. Smurfy says Pog. So what are you wanting to buy, Sniper Echo? Shopping for a new PC. That sounds like, I love shopping for anything electrical, any computer equipment, television, stereo equipment, anything like that. I love electronics in general. Just love buying electronics. Let's jump back into Substance Painter. Now I don't know if Substance picks up after we've saved out a new material or not. Let's see. Yes, my arched wood is there. So yes, we're texturing up this wardrobe at the moment. You've never seen a texture created before, Excalibur? Yeah, that was Alchemist I was using to create the texture. It's very simple. You can get as complicated as you want. Alchemist is really... I like Alchemist. You can mix and match a lot of different stuff. You can create a lot of variations and a lot of new substances in Alchemist. But there's also Quixel Mixer, which is very similar to Alchemist, and that's completely free. You don't need to buy a subscription like you do to use Alchemist from Adobe now. Quixel Mixer is free. It does the same sort of thing. Smedbury says, I'm an old fart, I still shop on Newegg. Yeah, I don't buy stuff from Newegg. No particular reason. Simply because even though we can shop at Newegg in Australia now, we have been able to for a couple of years. It takes forever to get stuff because it all gets shipped out of the United States. So it takes like weeks to get to Australia. And I'm impatient and I don't want to wait. It's the same with Amazon. Like I'm a Prime member, so I get free shipping with Amazon. But if I want to buy computer equipment particularly, most of it gets shipped out of the US and I've got to wait weeks for it. And I don't want to wait. So I generally just shop at local computer stores in my country. Support the smaller businesses. That's what I did with the new build that I did at the beginning of the year. I bought it at a smaller computer store. I mean, it's a large warehouse, but it's still local, only in Melbourne. Yeah, what are you getting? Sniper Smurfy says, for the love of God, avoid marketplace sellers. Yes, I agree. Excalibur says, I popped in late and missed the process, so I'll have to watch the VOD. Yes, so remember all the VODs go up after my stream. Like, my stream gets recorded and held for 60 days anyway, but after 60 days it gets deleted. So what I do after every stream is I edit out the countdown at the beginning and I edit out the splash screen at the end when I've logged off, when I've signed off, and I upload it so it stays on Twitch forever. And of course all my videos also end up on my YouTube channel as well eventually. Sniper Echo says, yeah, like buying new hardware also. Hard at this time of the year over here because of the Christmas thingy coming up. You're saying it's hard? Smurfy says, or Tom's Hardware maybe? Excalibur says, wait, your Amazon Prime membership still makes products take... Yes, it does. I mean, I can pay expedited shipping, but even when I do that, it still takes weeks to get from the United States to me. The free shipping option, which is only available for stuff you buy locally, not if you're buying from the US Amazon. Yeah, that gets to me in a couple of days, but that's because it's being shipped from Australia to me in Australia. But anything that I get shipped through Amazon from the US takes weeks. And I'm impatient. I want it now. I don't want to wait. Excalibur says, so what is it? Free 22-day shipping? That's right. Pretty much, yeah. If you take the free shipping option, it's 2 to 3 weeks. If you take if you want to spend, like if I want to go via DHL or FedEx or something, there is that option. But man, they charge a fortune depending on how big the thing is, and I can get that in maybe maybe 4 or 5 days, but it still takes 4 or 5 days. That's the fastest option, and you pay through the nose. It sort of defeats the whole purpose of having Amazon Prime if you're paying for shipping. Edo says Amazon one day turnaround is godlike. Yeah, look, and like I said, the if I buy locally, like Amazon have a warehouse in Melbourne here where I live. If I buy stuff that's stored at Amazon, then I get it in a day or two at most, and it's free shipping, which is cool. Sniper Echo says, I'm not sure what I will get, to be honest. Had a power surge here that fried all of my hardware, even the surge protector. You know, I had brownout here a couple of days ago. We had a really hot day, and then we had a cool change come through, so the wind was blowing a gale. And I had all of my computers on because I was doing network rendering for the studio. And I had a brownout, and you guys know what a brownout is. It's where you lose power for like half a second. And so all of my computers rebooted. And I hate that. And they're all, I'm on surge protection, but I don't have battery backup. I should. But if I had to use battery backup for all my computers, it'd cost a fortune. Yeah, so all my machines rebooted, which of course ruined the render I was doing, and I had to restart the render. But I'm more worried about surges like that frying electronics, so thankfully everything seems to still be working fine. Freaked me out though, because the lights went out, the power, all the computers rebooted. I thought it was the end of the world. Sniper says, hopefully I'll get whatever I order by the end of the year. Yeah, you got this time of the year, if you start buying stuff online, it can be risky because everybody starts shopping and they all start sending stuff to all their relatives all around the country and overseas. It can be an issue, it can be a problem. I generally, if I'm buying something, I like to get it out of the way and done before December hits because of that reason. Excalibur says to Sniper, that sucks. Sorry that happened. It does suck. Sniper says we don't have Prime here either. Oh, really? What's going on over there? Come on, Amazon. Get your act together in Ireland. Edo says, I need everyone to pray to the third lords of the Threadripper to go on sale. Those new Threadripper CPUs look so sweet. The 32 and 64 core versions. Oh man. I mean, they're not cheap. You're looking at $1,000 and about $1,400, I think, but still, 64 cores. Could you imagine? I wouldn't need all my rendering machines. I could just use one machine. Excalibur says, what's the absolute best thing about living in Australia? What would be the best thing about living in Australia? It's taken me a while, I know, I'm thinking. Well, I like Melbourne in Australia. I've lived in a couple of other cities in the country, but I like living in Melbourne. And I like Melbourne because they have a really good food culture, like lots of restaurants, lots of parks and stuff that you can go to. I like the trams in Melbourne, so it's cool to be riding on a tram. But living in Australia, the people are very friendly. Everyone's very friendly. We don't have guns. That's a big plus. No weapons, no guns. Against the law to have guns here. Unless you're a farmer or something. Sniper Echo says, thanks, yeah, it sucks. Sniper says, I just fitted two 1080 GPUs last week also. Oh no! Did they get fried as well, the GPUs, the 1080s? Man. You know, they're still expensive to buy, second-hand, 1080. I sold one of mine recently and I got like $600 for it. Can you believe that? For a 1080. I sold it probably about 3 or 4 months ago. $600. I mean, look, I'm not arguing with the person that bought it. They were happy, but that was for a Founders Edition card as well. Sniper says waited 7 weeks for them and they lasted 4 days. No. Oh man, that's bad luck. Edo says, I remember playing in Resident R6 tournament and I was the last one alive. It was the last round and I already took out 2 of the other enemies. Then my power went out. Oh man. That's terrible, Edo. Still, you could jump back into the game at some stage. It's a bit worse for Sniper with his power with his electronics being fried. But that is rough. I agree with Sniper Echo. Excalibur says, I got lucky with my 1080, bought it off a friend who had just gotten into Bitcoin mining and gave up after about 2 months. Man, you talk to Sniper Echo. We've spoken about Bitcoin before. Sniper was going to buy my house using Bitcoin in Second Life. In what's it called? Was it Second Life? That thing that doesn't exist anymore? MySpace? He was going to post about it on MySpace, buy the house in Second Life with all the Bitcoin. Bitcoin, it's a rort. It is a rort. It's one of the biggest scams ever, Bitcoin. Look, I'm not saying that virtual currency like that is, or blockchain is not, I'm not talking about blockchain. Blockchain is really interesting. I'm talking about Bitcoin. Bitcoin's a rort. You don't get involved in Bitcoin mining. It's a rort. So you got yours for $300. Well, that's decent. $300 for a 1080 is good. No, that's good, because the 1080 is still a very competent card. I mean, the new 20 series that NVIDIA released are not very much faster than the old 10 series. The only thing that they've really got going for them is real-time ray tracing, the new 20 series cards. Edo says, you want to buy my spare 970? It catches on fire. It's like a Pokemon. Excalibur says, Edo. Sniper says, when did that change? We shook on it. That's right, we did shake on it. I'm still waiting for that Bitcoin to come through though, Sniper. Excalibur says, what are you calling it? A roll? What are we talking about, Excalibur? What do you mean, a roll? What am I talking about? Anyway, I'm not doing any work. What am I doing? Let's throw down this archwood. About Bitcoin. I'm calling Bitcoin a scam. I'm not talking about blockchain, which is what Bitcoin is based on. I'm saying blockchain is good. Bitcoin is a scam. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm not doing a very good job of it. Yeah, I didn't think we could use this. I'm just playing with it here to see what... I'll end up using this material for the walls, I think, when we come to do the master bedroom upstairs and we do the wall sections. I want to do wood and marble, so I'll use this arch wood for that, but not for this. I was just talking about Bitcoin, because there's so many of them, and a lot of people end up getting ripped off because their money gets stolen or their Bitcoin gets stolen. And the price of Bitcoin goes up and down and up and down. That tells you that there's a serious problem there somewhere, that it's not a reliable thing to have. That's just my opinion anyway. And what does Phil know? Because Phil's senile, as Sniper Girl would tell me if she was here. She's obviously working away hard at the studio. Excalibur says, okay, so you're applying your texture you created? Yeah, I just did it and we're not going to have it. Excalibur says, man, that blows my mind that those spheres contain that. Yeah, so I will use that texture we just made in Alchemist, but I'll use it on the walls for the wall paneling in the bedroom. I didn't think it would be suitable for the wardrobe. What I'm going to do is I'm going to move on, add the chocolate wood, then we might come back to the rest of the wardrobe. So what I'm going to do is we're going to add a chocolate wood for the other parts of the decoration. You know, I could make it more interesting by adding gold, more gold around the edges. No, we'll stick to chocolate wood. This one. Yeah. Let's jump to the top of our stack. Let's rotate this 90 degrees. Let's pull back on the height information because again it's way, 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 way too high. Let's work on the scaling before I do a color by selection. You know, I actually prefer that color for the wardrobe itself as opposed to just the doors. I might do that actually. Edo says, I went to a PC make website and the PC was just a 2080 Ti and the new Ryzen CPU is 500% plus better than my PC. What is life anymore? I agree. Man, the 64 cores, that'd be so sweet. So sweet. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to duplicate this level, duplicate this material. I'm going to turn it off and I'm going to drag the one under it that we first just added. I'm going to drag that down into our wardrobe stuff. And we're going to throw another smart mask down. More smart material, smart mask. And for this one, I think we might go with... Let's try the stain scratch. Let's get in here so I can see what's going on. I'm just moving to the back of the wardrobe because we've got a bigger area that we can look at. It's easier to see. It needed something that was a bit more interesting, so I just like the fact that we've got these little bits and pieces here. It just makes the wood look more interesting. The wood was just looking a bit boring. We won't go too nuts. It's a nice old knocked about wardrobe. Okay, let's turn the top layer on and let's add a color by mask by color selection and pick the blue. And let's change the color. I want to make it darker, much darker. Darker still. Okay, let's duplicate this layer. Now let's put both of these into a group. Let's call this W for wardrobe chocolate wood. I'm going to change the color of the chocolate wood at the top and I'm going to make it a bit lighter. Back to our smart masks and let's throw down Sniper Echo says, okay, ZBrush question, can you export multiple UV tile textures? Multiple UV tile textures. I think they're called multi-UV textures at least. Trying to work out what you mean by multi-UV tile textures. You're not talking about UDIMs, are you? Do you mean UDIMs? Or are you talking about something else, Sniper? Let's try this one. Actually, before I do that, did I do a color by selection here? I don't think I did. So let's fix that. So we're only working with the right thing. Sniper Echo says it's where an object has several UV maps. Oh, so okay. So you're not talking about UDIMs because an object can have several different UV sections, but you're talking about like the same UV map multiple times on the same model in the same spot. In which case, I'm not sure. Not sure about ZBrush, and I'm trying to work out why you want that. Like in Unreal, this model will have UV0 will be the texture map, UV1 will be the shadow map, UVs. I'm just trying to work out why you need more. No, not UDIMs, yeah. I don't know about ZBrush. You're asking me about ZBrush? Come on, you know how much I love that program. So I really don't know. Yeah, I'm really not sure. Maybe one of the other guys that uses ZBrush a bit more than me will know. Yes, different UV channels. Smepper says ZBrush. Yes, that's right. Get behind me, Satan. ZBrush's interface, man. Yeah, no, I don't know, Sniper Echo. I'm not sure. I don't use ZBrush enough to answer the question. ZBrush, man, why use ZBrush? Look, I like ZBrush is the best at sculpting. I'm not going to deny. There is nothing like ZBrush. There's Mudbox, but Mudbox is not as good as ZBrush for sculpting models. Just their interface is so bad. And look, I hear people say, you know, if you don't, people that complain about the interface in ZBrush just don't know how to use it. Or, you know, aren't they good at it to begin with? So they just bitch about the user interface. Like, come on. Come on, people. Like, the people that say that rubbish. An interface of a program is the most important thing. It is what you interact with to use your program. You know, that they say, oh, you get used to it. Well, you shouldn't have to get used to it. It should be intuitive. That is the whole point of an interface. It's supposed to be intuitive. You're not supposed to get used to it. So come on, don't give me that argument. Did I get a fill slap? Sniper Echo says, oh, somebody please slaps me. Did it go off? You should be able to do a fill slap. It's a mod slap for you guys, though, Sniper Echo, not a fill slap. So you go exclamation mod slap if you want to set up a fill slap. But I'll give you one anyway. There you go. Fill slap. Just going to jump again back into the underlying material here. And I might just knock this back just a little bit. Just so it's not quite so in your face. More subtle, more subtle. Subtle is good. Let's find a material we can use for the metalwork. Sniper Echo says 7 years here and I'm still getting the command wrong. That's right. Remember, it's mod slap because I can't make it fill slap because I have to set up separate commands for moderators as opposed to general commands. That's the way it works in the Python script that I'm using to do the commands. So I had to make it mod slap, not fill slap. So yeah, just put mod in front of whatever I use. So instead of fill slap, it's mod slap, I'm pretty sure. It's on the Discord server under the mods channel on the Discord server. You guys, I listed them there. So yes, let's find a material we can use. Let's actually look at the smart materials here, because I like, we've got some interesting gold smart materials. Let's jump up to the top of our stack and let's try this one. You know, I really like, I like the wardrobe gold now. No, I do like it gold, I have to admit. It looks interesting. But no, that's not was my intention was not to make a gold wardrobe. And it looks like it might have put it in the wrong folder, so let me pull that out. Let me undo that because I got mistaken. There we go. Sniper Echo says, I'd love to go look, Bill, but I'm only on a phone. This PC is literally in bits. Well, I can do it for you because I've got Discord open, so let me have a look. Making the streamer do all the work here. Moderators, yes, it's mod slap, mod stink eye, mod hayfill, mod oops, mod raspberry, mod wrecked, and mod stink eye. So it's basically mod in front of everything I use. There you go. Sniper says, can't do that I can't multitask either. Look, I can't. You guys see me when I stream. If I'm responding to chat, then my workflow just stops because I can't do two things. I'm not like those other streamers who are multitasking, multi-talented. I can't do more than one thing at a time. Let's mask by material, by color selection, I mean. And we want to pick the yellow. And I'm going to actually throw a material underneath of this gold. I'll know it when I see it. I just want a standard metallic texture for underneath of it so we can throw a smart mask down and do a bit of a mix. So I don't like the fact that they're so gold. Let's go with the old iron. I'm just going to put these in their own folder again, so I'm going to group them. And we're going to call this W for wardrobe metal. I'm just going to turn off the gold temporarily so we can see the metal. Thinking it's put it in the wrong spot. I think that's what it's done. That's better. Okay, let's mask by color selection. Zoom in here a little bit. And let's throw a smart mask down. Sniper says, I can make him explain the mod commands, make him remake a house in UE4 and make a game. Good thing we're friends, Phil. That's a lot of abuse. That is. I'm just too easily led. That's the problem. It was your idea for me to do the house on the hollow, wasn't it? And it was your idea, I think, for me to turn it into a game, which is what we're doing now. It's all your fault. Let's look at this one. I don't think I've actually used this smart mask before. Again, I'm going to pick a color selection so it's only going to affect that, not the rest of our wardrobe. Yep, you're sorry. You should be. You should be. No, like I was saying to you guys yesterday, it wasn't until I started getting back into, because I used to work in games development, and then I went to film, and now I work in Archviz, and it wasn't until I went back to making a game that I realised how much fun it is. So you did me a favour. Know that I don't actually think I like this mask. I'm going to remove it. We'll find something else. Wasn't doing what I liked. Let's go with, let's try this one. So yeah, it's been a lot of fun working on the game. There's a long way to go. It's not due to be released till the end of next year, so I'm going to be at it for a while. I think that's because the smart material, it's not really doing a lot here. The smart material above, I mean. I think it's the reason it's not really doing a lot for me here. So what I can do is I can drag it above so that we have a bit more. Yeah, that's better. I can actually see what's going on now. That should work. I just wanted the gold to be less perfect. I wanted to be a little bit old to match the rest of the wardrobe. Now, I'm just going to save this, and then I'm going to think about whether I want to make some changes here. So save as. Bedroom, chosen wardrobe. I'm just thinking, these might look interesting if they're like a gold as well. Just the outer square, just to make the wardrobe look a bit more interesting. I mean, it's just looking a little ordinary. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump back into Max. I can get rid of this unwrap, we don't need that. I'm going to go into, come on Max. I've just got to wait for Max here, there we go. And I'm going to select these. And we're going to change that to, let's make it a green so it's completely different from everything else we've got. Again, I'm just going to double check that everything is still looking correct and our Vertex colors. It is. I'm going to re-export this model as our wardrobe. Let's jump back into Substance Painter and let's update our model. Okay, let's just wait for it to finish importing, and now I'm going to bake out the maps again because our maps have changed. And now we're going to add a smart material to those rectangular pieces. Sniper Echo says, in Unity you can use several UV maps on one object for separate textures and it's only one draw call. So in Unity you can use several UV maps on one object for separate textures and it's only one draw call. That's really interesting. I wonder if Epic will put something like that in the Unreal Engine, because that could be really useful. Because again, you guys know, the more draw calls, the slower the engine will work. So anytime you can save on draw calls is always a good thing. And that would be a really handy thing to have in Unreal. Hopefully Epic Games will add something like that. Let's go with this gold here. And we're going to mask it again. I just think having the gold just helps to lift the wardrobe a bit, doesn't make it look quite so boring. Sniper says, I'm looking into that for UE4, not sure if there are separate UV channels. You can have as many UV channels as you want in UE4, I know that. You're not limited. So a model in UE4 can have many UV channels, but I just don't know if there's a way to use them in a material to keep them as only one draw call, you know what I mean? I don't know if you can, maybe there is and I've just not come across it. So it may be in Unreal, but it's not something I've seen off the top of my head. But it would be useful to find out. And actually, you know how we were talking about 2D capture yesterday in the mirrors for the level when we were setting up the bathroom? I did a little play around with that last night. Unfortunately, doing a 2D capture or a 3D cube capture for the mirrors, I didn't really like the result. A 2D screen capture is good for like a monitor, like at a security station to fake that. But for the mirror, it didn't really work very well. It didn't look quite right. And obviously it didn't move when the player moved as well. Because that's what you were talking about yesterday, wasn't it? It was 2D scene capture or 3D cube capture for the mirrors I'm talking about. Sniper says, yeah, each channel is a separate draw call. Apparently there's some export setting in ZBrush for that specifically. Okay. Sniper says, right, yeah, no, so I did try it, I did play around with it, but the results didn't look quite right. They looked weird. It didn't move, it should be live. Yeah, I know it should be live, but it didn't move. I set it up correctly, but it didn't move. But it wasn't just the fact it didn't move. Even if it had moved, it looked weird. It didn't look... It looked too bright to begin with. I'm not sure if I could have fiddled around with making it duller, but it looked like a TV screen. You know how when you watch TV or a monitor, it's bright? That's sort of like what it looked like. It looked too bright to be a reflection in a mirror. No, I did set it up to capture every frame. I did. I double checked that. I did check that it was set up to capture every frame. But regardless of that, it looked too bright. It looked like a monitor or a TV screen. Now, like I said, maybe I could have adjusted the brightness in the material. Maybe that was an option, which I could still look at maybe in the future. But yeah, so to me it just didn't look quite right. So screen space reflections using a material with capture sources, spherical capture sources, still probably the best way for me to go. Because remember too, reflections, if you have an RTX graphics card, will be handled by ray tracing. And they'll be proper reflections anyway. And screen space reflections will work pretty well. There's only a couple of problems with screen space reflections in mirrors, and that's when you get to the edge of the mirror. I don't know if you noticed it yesterday, but you get like this distortion effect. Now there is a way to fix that by turning down screen space reflection within the post-process volume, which is one option I could do. But I like screen space reflections for the rest of the building, for the rest of the floors and the walls and the furniture. So I'd have to set up a separate post-process volume just for the bathroom. which is something I may look at doing. Sniper says, yeah, you're right, you need to adjust the material settings, but with ray tracing, I don't think it would be the right way to go. Yeah, and again, because I want to give people the option of if they don't have an RTX card, they can fall back to screen space reflections. Because I don't want to limit the amount of people that can play the game by saying you need to have an RTX card, otherwise you're not going to see reflections. Like they did in, what was that game that was released recently where they didn't have screen space reflections turned on because they wanted people to use real-time ray tracing? What was it called? Control? Was it called Control? It was released a month or so ago, maybe 2 months ago. I think it was called Control. A very popular game, but yeah, if people were complaining that they didn't use screen space reflections to try and encourage people to use ray tracing, to turn ray tracing on, and it was true. You could see in the glass inside the building, it was black. They hadn't turned on real screen space reflection. So when you turned real-time ray tracing on, you got your reflections, but without real-time ray tracing, you didn't. Now, I don't know if that was just an oversight by the developers or if that was intentional. I don't know. But I don't want to do that sort of stuff. I think that's pretty scummy. I'm just noticing here that my squares aren't centered. Yeah. So, but again, I'm not suggesting they did it on purpose. But it was. That's the way it was. Unless you turned real-time ray tracing on with an RTX card, you didn't get proper reflections. They didn't set up screen space reflections for like the windows and stuff. So you got reflection of the building, of the interior of the building. Who knows? Yeah, I'm pretty sure the game was Control. You can read up about it online. I'm sure if you do a Google search, you'll find a few articles talking about it. Yeah, and I think that's a pretty scummy thing to do. As much as real-time ray tracing in a game really does add to the realism. It does look much more realistic when you turn on real-time ray tracing and you turn on real-time ray trace shadows and you turn on global illumination. All of those things and translucency really help to make a believable environment. But you need an RTX card to do it. And the technology is still very new, so the performance hit is quite large, depending on which of those options you turn on. Yeah, so it's sort of like a trade-off. You either lower your resolution, you don't use all of the ray trace features. Yeah. Some people don't have an RTX card to begin with, so they can't use it. So that's why the game that I'm working on with the studio, screen space reflections for people with normal cards. If people want to turn ray tracing on, they have the option if they have an RTX card, and that will give them proper real-time ray trace reflection. Yeah, I'm just noticing here my little squares. A couple of them are a bit off. I'll fix that in a minute when I jump back into Max. I don't need to bring it into Substance because I can just do it in Max and we can keep the texture the same. So that won't be a problem. I'm just wondering why it looks like I'm getting stretching happening here. I wonder if that's just the scaling, because we did texture this up in Ryzen, so it should be textured correctly in here. It looks like it's stretching to me. So I'm just going to play with the scaling here a little bit. Of course, we've got like half a dozen materials here on this smart material to look at. So many materials, come on. Okay, it's not that one. Doesn't appear to be that one. Why is it doing that? I'm just going to throw just something else on there to see if there is a problem with the UV mapping. So it's either a problem with the UV mapping or it's a problem with the material, the smart material. So I'm just going to choose something that gives me a bit of a pattern, because that'll be the best way for me to judge whether there's a problem with the UVs. Pattern. Okay, let's look at this one here. I'm just going to temporarily do a pick color. Let's do a scale so we can see it a bit better. Okay, it does appear that there's a problem with the UV mapping. It looks like the UV map on the insides of these is not quite correct. So what I'm going to do is jump back into Max. Sniper says, is substance still limited to 8K textures? I believe so, yes. I don't think you still can't go any larger than 8K in Substance Painter. Unfortunately, although 8K is, if you're doing game stuff, is more than enough. You generally would not want to go bigger than 8K for a game. But that's why I like Mari to do my texture painting, because there's no limit. The only limit is the amount of memory in your computer. Thank you for the follow. My apologies for not being able to pronounce your name, but I do thank you for following the channel. Or following Phil Does 3D. Remember to, if you want to, join the Discord server. I'll just pop the link there in chat for you. That's if you want to show any work off in the gallery or anything, you can put it in the Discord server. It's up to you if you want to join the Phil Does 3D Discord. But they're a good group of guys and girls, everyone's very friendly, so... And you can show off your work. Or link to your portfolio and all that sort of stuff. So what were we talking about? Oh, yes, that's why I like Mari, because there is no limit apart from the amount of memory in your computer. So, but what I need to do here is I'm going to do an Unwrap Uvw just on these sections and check what's going on. It should not be a problem. Get out of sub-object mode there and let's choose. I just want to find what's going on here. So I'm just looking at where they are in a UV map. Okay, there is a problem with the UV mapping. So, I don't know why. It looked fine when it was in Rism UV, but there is a problem there. So I'm going to just temporarily detach these. We'll go into isolation mode so I'm not confused with everything else that's going on. I'm going to send this back over to Ryzen. I bet you it's because Ryzen is having, see, it's importing the model correctly. I bet you that's the reason. Just going to close Rise down. And let's see if we can do some mapping in Max. Now I have to be careful here because we're going to have a problem when we re-import the model because I'm going to have to change the UV mapping. Let's see what we can do though. Again, I'm going to throw just a checkered texture down to check this. Now that looks correct to me. I don't see a problem with the UV mapping now. But of course now we're going to have to readjust our UVs. So I'm just going to take these out of the 0 to 1 space temporarily. And let's reattach it to our wardrobe. Now we're going to have to do an unwrap. And I don't want to change my UV, so I'm going to have to try and do this by hand. Without moving my other UVs around. Sniper says, can you import into Substance again and just re-export? Yeah, I can. I'm just worried that if I change the UVs too much, Substance might get confused. It may not, but it'll just be easier for me if I can manage to re-UV map it back sort of where it was. But you're right. I could select everything and do a repack, re-export, re-import the model in Substance. And Substance probably would be okay, but sometimes Substance can get confused. Whereas this way, now I should just be able to re-export the model again. Re-import the model in Substance. I'm just going to have to rebake the textures again though, probably. So yeah, you are correct. I could have just repacked it, but then I did rebake it, and there was a chance that sometimes Substance, when you re-import a model, can get a bit confused. Doing it this way though, now we've fixed our UVs, didn't affect any of our other materials. So we can get rid of that top color, and now our UVs look correct. Yeah, and again, I think the problem was Rhizome when it UV mapped, when it actually imported the model. It's actually the plugin, it's not Rhizome. It's that plugin I'm using that exports the model from Max into Rhizome because I'm too lazy to save the model and import it manually. That has the issues on some models. I should have known when we were getting that Z fighting, because there is no Z fighting here, that it was exporting the model. It was a problem with when it was sending the model to Rhizome. So it's not a problem with the model, it's not a problem with Rhizome, it's a problem with that plugin that I use to send the models to Rhizome. I'm just wondering if
what have I done? Can someone remind me?
If we should add more gold. More gold! Probably not. I think we don't want to overdo it with the gold. Now let's save this. Always more gold, Smurfberry says. That's right, always more gold. I don't think we need more gold. I think it's enough gold. Our wardrobe looks suitably battered and old. That should be fine. Sniper says Z fighting might be a good indicator for that sort of issue. Yeah, I think you're right. Next time we import, which we're going to do in a minute, import a model into Rhizome using the plugin. If we're getting Z fighting, we know that there's a problem with the model. In which case, what we'll have to do is export the model as an FBX and import it manually. It'll be fine then. It's just a plugin. It's a free plugin. I can't complain. Well, like I said, I can complain, but I shouldn't. Let's export the textures here. Yeah, it's a free plugin, so I should be thankful the guy who created it and gave it away for free. And gives it away for free to everyone to use. But you know, if it's buggy, then it sometimes creates more problems than it's worth. UE4 projects, models, bedroom, chosen, wardrobe, select, export. Open folder to make sure they're there, and they are. Good. Save. Jump back into Max. Wait for Max to get its mind together. Come on. Sniper says, could be interesting to re-import this model into Rhizome from Max to see if the Z fighting is there. Well, let's do that, shall we? Let's open up Rhizome. Let's import the model we've been working with in Substance Painter. Right, I've got the house on the hollow on the mind because that's what we're working on. Models, bedroom, chosen, wardrobe, and look at that. No Z fighting. So it's the plugin, which is what I thought. There is no Z fighting, there is no issue with the model, it's the plugin. It doesn't work, it doesn't happen on every model, which is what makes it even more infuriating. It only happens sometimes on some models. I'm just going to save this file, so if we need to come back and work on this wardrobe again, we can. And let's work on the safe cabinet, which is this thing here. So it's just a cabinet. It's called a safe cabinet. It's suitably period nouveau-y, deco-y type thing, so it'll go in the. It'll look good in the room. I don't know what I'm going to put in there. We'll work that out later. Sniper says, although you did it from Max to Rhizome, didn't you? Yes, I did. The first time we used the plugin here to send the model over, that caused the issue. The second time that you just saw, I did it manually. I opened Rhizome, I imported the model we exported that we were working with inside of Substance Painter. So I did a manual import and export, but this plugin does a temporary one. It sends it to a temp directory, which you'll see now because I'm going to send this over to Rhizome to do the UV mapping. But when I do this, it sends it to a temp directory, opens Rhizome, and then imports the model for me. So I like it because it's quick and easy. But again, you see we've got Z fighting happening here and here. That's telling me that that's not going to UV map correctly using the plugin. So what we're going to have to do is export the model. It's not a big deal. It's just easy to use the plugin, but if the plugin is not going to work correctly, then we're going to have to get around it. I'm going to call this one ANT for Antique Safe Cabinet. Now we'll open up Horizon. We will import the model. And now you see we don't have that Z-fighting problem. It's the plugin. So if you do use Horizon and you do end up having problems, if you're using the plugin, because the plugin is available for Cinema 4D, Maya, Max, you download the plugin for free from Horizon's website. But the guy that made the plugin, it does not work for Horizon. He made it for free for people to use. Maybe I should look to see if he's updated the plugin. I don't think he updates it very often though. No, they don't have an official plugin. They recommend this plugin that I'm using, Sniper Echo. Sniper says, didn't Horizon have an official plugin for Mac? No, they don't have official plugins for any of the 3D software. It's all been written by other users and given to people to use for free. So, yeah. Let's UV map this one up. And like I said, it's free, so I really should not be complaining. It's good. Good.
Blaming me for playing with fire. Leave your fears and worries behind you. A better light, you're flying solo. I wish you'd stay to make it worthwhile. We scream loud on a coast of sunshine. Nothing can stop us, we're on the best ride. Only you can keep me smiling. Beautiful that you are hiding. You are the sunrise on the loneliest night.
It's good.
Sunrise on the loneliest night. Whoa. The sunrise on the loneliest night. Whoa. The sunrise and you are golden. You are the sunrise on the loneliest night. Oh, the sunrise on the loneliest night. Oh,
That's fine.
sunrise on the loneliest night. Oh, the sunrise and you are golden.
It's all good.
The sunrise and you are golden. Oh, the sunrise on the loneliest night. Oh, the sunrise on the
Sniper says that guy has an extended edition of the plugin, which you do have to buy. Yes, he does. I don't want to be mean or anything, but if the free version isn't working very well, I don't want to spend money on the extended version, just in case it doesn't work as well. So yeah, you can buy a version from him that has a couple of other functions than the free version. But having used his free version, I'm reluctant to spend money on the pay, even though it doesn't cost very much. You buy it on Gumroad, I think it's like $3 or $5 or something. It's not a lot of money. Still, why buy something that might not work? That's what I say. So yeah, that's why I haven't mentioned it. And just the fact that he doesn't seem to update it very often either. That's usually a good indication from a developer how reliable they are as to how often they update their stuff. And if they don't update it very often, then they're bored with the project and they don't want to continue working on it, or they were never that interested in the project to begin with. That's the impression I get anyway. Maybe I'm just being me. Maybe. This one. Sorry, I just noticed a noise coming from my streaming machine. I thought, you shouldn't be struggling. No reason my streaming machine should be struggling at all. Let's try this one. No, that one's not going to work. Let's try this one. No, that one's not going to work. Whoop. Okay, let's go back to this one.
Far away with you, that's where I'll go. Go astray into the vast unknown. Can we get lost? Found each other, we don't have to find a way back. Can we get lost? Found each other, we don't have to find a way back. A way back. I want to get
That will probably work for what we want. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do a bit of slicing by hand, I think. I don't want these joined together, so I'm going to slice them. Repack them. Should work for what we want. We're nearly there. Nope.
If I run away, know that you're better off. 'Cause I've made my mistakes, hoping I won't get caught. I'm wanting it on the run tonight. I'm guilty of all my sins.
I'm not a great unpack, but this is a difficult object to try and UV map. It's a weird shape. Let's see if I can't do something manually a bit better.
I've made my mistakes.
It's a bit better.
I won't get caught. Wanted it on the run tonight. I'm guilty of all my sins. I'm haunted, won't make it out alive. I am a fugitive. Now I don't break all the rules they say. We just don't. They don't apply to
Do the same thing here. I'm just going to
I don't break
manually do a couple of cuts on the end.
they don't apply to me, babe.
Let's do the same thing here. I actually purchased a new plugin for Macs that does quad remeshing really well. It's actually made by the guys that make Z Remesher and ZBrush, but it's a plugin for Macs. So I find it really useful to actually to do a remesh, quad remesh of photogrammetry objects. Just thought I'd mention that. It is good. It's a good plugin. I don't have to actually jump into ZBrush anymore to, thank God, to do remeshing. That makes me happy. Not having less to do with ZBrush. Okay, do I have anything left that I've forgotten? No, I think that's everything. So let's save. Let's save as a new version. Let's save as well. Save as, just to be on the safe side. It did put the new version there, but I'm just doing it again. We'll make this one out too. Let's jump back into Max. See, the reason I like the plugin is I don't have to, with the plugin, it automatically assigns my UVs. Doing it this manual way, I've got to import find my file, should be this one here. Hang on, did I do something wrong? Or are they both in the same spot? I think I might have done something wrong. Yeah, I did. Alright, just let me reopen the original here. No, don't save. That's what I thought. Shouldn't be doing it. what it's doing is when I'm importing the new model, it's replacing the old one. So just let me try renaming this in case Max is freaking out. There we go. It was because it was named the same. Max replaced the old one with the new one. Just going to move this over. So this is the one that we've UV mapped. So I'm going to do an unwrap Uvw. Double check it is UV mapped. We have to pack the UVs. Now we can copy our unwrap. We should be able to paste it on the new on the old model, the original version. And let me double check by opening up the UVs. And it did not like that. Why did it not like that? It's very strange. It got most of the UVs. It just didn't like these bits for some reason. That's okay. We can work around it. Normally that would work, and it did work for most of the UVs. It just didn't work for these pieces here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to again, I'm just going to double check my UVs here are correct. Pretty sure they are. Yeah, see these ones it mapped correctly. It just didn't do it on the original. So we'll use the new version because we haven't done anything with it yet anyway. So it's not a big deal. What I'm going to do though is I'm going to rotate it so it's facing the right direction.
The setting could hardly be more perfect. New eyes, new vision for the world.
Just going to make sure angle snap is turned on.
An unparalleled blending of science and art.
Often it is difficult for
We're just going to scale it down a little bit because it's a bit big.
sound synthesizer quickly enough. A computer can take over much of this control work and do it more quickly and accurately.
We can delete this one, the original, because we're going to work with the one with UV mapped. Okay, I'm forgetting something. What did I want to do? Oh, that's right. I wanted to reset the pivot point. And I also want to do a reset on the X-form. And now we can collapse that stack. And we can save our file, just to be on the safe side. Okay, so now that's ready for us to start texturing up inside of Substance Painter. But I think we might have to leave that till Monday next week, guys. I do want to thank you guys very much for hanging out with me and for watching. I wish you guys in the United States a happy Thanksgiving for Thursday. I will be back again on Monday next week at 5 p.m. Pacific time in the United States. We'll continue texturing up the bits and pieces here for our master bedroom. And then we'll eventually take the bits and pieces into Unreal and start putting the bedroom together. But you guys have a great weekend, a great week. Happy Thanksgiving, you guys in the US, and I will see you all on Monday next week. See you guys.